Physical appearance changes manifest through neutrality. To be fair, everything manifests through neutrality. But the reason neutrality is even more important when it comes to physical changes is because we tend to be so attached to our bodies. I mean, that's normal, right? You see yourself every day. You feel how your body feels. If you have pain, you have to feel that. You're experiencing life through your body because it's your vehicle. So when it comes to manifesting a change in that, it can be very, very difficult for people to actually achieve neutrality. Now, there are a lot of people that think that they have been manifesting changes in their body for a long time, but really, they haven't been manifesting anything. They've just been obsessing and trying to control. And obsessing and controlling is the opposite of neutrality. So why is neutrality so important in general? It's because it's a receptive state. It's a state of non-attachment. It's a state of saying, I'm okay with the way things are now. And that is the state that allows more things to materialize. Because if you're not okay with the way that your body looks right now, if you are desperate to change it, if you think, for example, no one's going to like you unless you change your body, you're putting all these kind of conditions on it, you are saying to the universe, you are putting the energy out there of, I do not have this physical change. I do not look the way I want. I do not feel comfortable in my body. People aren't going to like me if I don't look a certain way. And what happens is that has to be reflected back in your reality. So you go to the mirror, you see a body you don't like. You walk around in public, you don't feel comfortable. You go on a date, you get rejected. Your identity and what you're aware of constantly has to be reflected back to you. That is the law. That is how the world works. So if you want to see a change with your body or with anything else, you have to put the energy out there of, I don't need this thing because I already have it. Because manifestations come from a state of someone who has that thing. If you have an identity where it's normal for you to look good, it's normal for you to get treated in a certain way, it's normal for you to enjoy looking at the mirror and feeling comfortable with what you see, then that's going to be reflected in your reality. Another thing I want to discuss is the aspect of specificity. So people can tend to get very fixated on wanting things to appear a certain way. Like, for example, you might be trying to manifest a change in your appearance and you want it to look exactly like accurate to your specifications. Like there's a celebrity you really like and you want to look exactly like her, or there's a body type you want and you want it to be exactly that. Like, this might be a bit of a controversial thing to say, but having so much specificity can be just a way of trying to control, and things don't materialize and unfold from control. Things materialize and unfold from surrender. I mean, that's what I found in my journey, at least, and I think many other people also. A lot of the religious texts and ancient philosophies, like Vedic philosophy, they talk about this too. They talk about a state of, in Vedic philosophy, I think it's called sattva is the state, where it's a state of revealing. It's a state of the world unfolding itself to you. Now, when you are so specific and obsessive and trying to control, you're in the state of the ego. You're in a state of attachment. And manifestation is a state of non-attachment, essentially. Now, the word manifestation, I think a lot of people don't even really know what it means. Or people have very specific ideas on what it means. Essentially, it just means having a vision, having an internal vision that materializes in the 3D reality where you can see it and experience it with your body. It's not supposed to be something where you're controlling every specific outcome. Not to say you cannot manifest specific things. You can absolutely manifest specific things, and I have done so. For example, with my appearance, I manifested pretty much a facial glow up. I manifested improving my facial structure, getting more symmetry. My body too, my body became more, like my posture became better. My body became a bit more, like slightly more curvy on my lower half. My skin became smoother, my complexion became brighter, my dark circles improved, my hair became fuller. So these are things that I had a kind of vision for, but when they actually came, they weren't something that I was gripped on so tightly to. It's not like I had this idea of like, okay, it has to look like exactly this way to the millimeter, you know? Like, I just had a general idea of what I wanted to look like. And to be fair to the universe, props, like I pretty much got that. But you find that as you go on and as you attach less, your grip on exactly what you want loosens slightly, and it becomes more of kind of a theme. Like you essentially, you want to look hot and feel good, right? And you want to be healthy. That's what everyone wants. And that's completely natural and valid. And you can absolutely have that. And you should have that. And another thing I learned on my journey is how health and beauty are very much correlated, and they really change your energetic state and what you're able to receive. I can talk about that more because that's a separate topic. Where was I? Oh yeah, so attachment. It's funny because Buddhism also says this. They say desire is the root of all suffering. And they say attachment. Is it attachment is the root of all suffering, or desire? But it's pretty much the same thing, because they link together attachment and desire. They basically say that gripping onto anything tightly, obsessing about it, that's where the issue lies. Desiring something in itself is not an issue, because desire is the way our souls evolve. If we had no desires, what would we be living for? How would we know in what direction to go? How would we have a vision and then materialize it? And that's literally the whole point of being here on earth, is to experience contrast and to co-create a reality. So desire in itself is not bad. You wanting to look a certain way, you wanting to be hot, you wanting to feel good, there's absolutely no problem with that. The problem comes when it becomes obsessive, and instead of freeing you, it starts to limit you more, because manifestation is always supposed to free you. And this is another thing I feel like people get stuck on. They use manifestation as another form of control. Like, manifestation is supposed to be the key to unlock your prison. And then, like, some people take that key, they lock themselves on the inside of the prison, and then they throw away the key, and that's them manifesting. And it's like, what? Like, that was not supposed to be the point at all. This is supposed to be liberation and evolving your soul. Now, you might be wondering, okay, but how do I have a desire, focus on it, while I'm neutral about it and non-attached? And that's a very good question. And that probably deserves another video. So if you're interested to know my thoughts on that, please let me know. Just to give you a bit of background on me, I studied in hypnotherapy, so I'm a clinical hypnotherapist, and I have probably like 8 years or 9 years of experience in manifesting in general. And also I had my own experience manifesting a new face and body, or maybe not new, but an upgraded face and body. If you do want to work with me, I've put my information below, and I have my website where you can see testimonials of my previous clients. I also have an ebook, if you're interested, where I discuss how I manifested my face and body in detail. But yes, please stay tuned if you're interested in this topic. I'm definitely going to make more videos about this. Okay, bye.